My name's Alan, and on behalf of my co-host Vistancia, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. Today, the show takes place in Santa Barbara, California, and today was just such a perfect, beautiful day. And there was just such beautiful energy in the air, and we hope we can bring more beautiful energy into your life today. And all over the country where people see the show, whenever you see it, I hope you have that same feeling. Tonight we really have just a show of fun, a show of love, and a show of delight. We have guests, we have pictures, we have singing, we have dancing. I always say this, the singing, dancing, but we really do tonight. And we have Robert Orton Gerard, who's a publisher and an author and a speaker. Ron Castia, who's going to do some musical work for us. He's an incredible musician. We have Abigail, who's been on this show on numerous occasions before, and every time she's on, just people call up from all over just saying how extraordinary she is. We feel like, actually I think she's going to be on again next week. She's like, like Joni Mitchell before Joni Mitchell became known, or this new girl, Elisa, Annalise Morissette, or whatever, I always get those, but the one who won all the awards. And we also have some pictures here that I don't know if you folks remember, but about a month or so ago, we had this incredible inspirational artist, Arthur Duay, on. He was just an incredible man, an incredible artist. And he did some life portraits of Vistancia and I that we have with us. And he also wrote some poems that I'll read you mine. I don't think Vistancia likes hers as good, so she's probably not going to read you hers. She'll talk about it, but I'll read you the one he wrote about the painting. It's a pastel. So we really have an exciting show with a lot of things happening. And to set the tone for the show, as we do at this time, Vistancia leads us in a short invocation and a meditation. So, Vistancia.
Thank you, Alan. And so join with me now as we take a breath and breathe in the light of our soul, the light of our God's self. And maybe we can breathe that light into the very heart of the earth, into the very center of the earth, where the crystal that is the consciousness of the great central sun. And we connect our light deep down into the heart of our mother. And we connect our light all the way up through the dimensions of our own grand being, up into the higher dimensions, into the galaxies, into the universe, and all the way to the Godhead. And allow yourself to feel yourself stretched in those two directions. And then stretch yourself all around. For you are sitting in a great circle of light that is your being. As we stretch our light into our subtle bodies, into our light bodies, and all the levels of our light body, into all of our great, great selves. Maybe we can even feel that we're stretching ourself into our already ascended self, reaching our light into that part of us that has not left source, calling forth now to our own I Am presence, that great presence of God that we are, that is our truest self, asking that part of us come fully in to our consciousness and to our awareness, and now into our body as well, calling in the light of our soul, and asking that our Christ over self, that we are becoming more and more familiar with, that Christ part of us anchor firmly in our heart at this time so that we can feel it. And we ask for the blessing and the outpouring of our own beautiful emanations, of our own light. And we call forth and join our great light with the light of the archangels, asking for the protection of Michael in our rooms, in the studio, in your homes, asking for the resurrection power of Gabriel, asking for the wisdom of Yophiel, for the healing of Raphael, asking for the great peace that comes with Uriel and his angels, and all the guardian angels that Uriel is in charge of. asking for the great transformation and transmutational essences of Lord Zadkiel. And we call forth now to the Ascended Masters also, asking that their teachings and their radiance come pouring in to mix with ours as we bridge heaven and earth within our own heart, joining our hearts with theirs. We call for the love of Sananda, asking that our hearts open and feel his love, and the love of Maitreya. And tonight we call and ask for the love and the touch of Lord Buddha, for we're coming up on the time of his birth and also of the celebration of his ascension. And that time it will be next week in what's known as the Buddha Moon in Wesak Festival. And so we ask for the presence somehow also of Buddha in our hearts and in our beings this night. We also ask for the presence of all of the fairies, asking for our inner childs to come out and play tonight, asking to unite the kingdoms, the crystal kingdoms and the animal kingdoms and the plant kingdoms, the angel kingdoms, asking for a great circle of light here. And it starts with you. And so maybe you can join me now as we step into the silent sanctuary in the heart, go into a moment together of meditation, asking for the blessings of Father, Mother, God to pour down upon us and lift our consciousness as we are on the ascent, as we approach the shift of the ages. We ask for a greater shift of light within our own being. We ask this night as we sit here to receive an increase in the light that we hold, asking for an increase of our light quotient, asking for Melchizedek, that great universal power, to bless us with that and bless our meditation. So maybe you can just step inside with me, close your eyes if you wish, and let go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for this quiet in this moment. So, I guess we're ready to move into the rest of our show. And it looks like I will take this pleasure of this moment to introduce Abigail. And Abigail is going to be singing 2 songs, and she is a divine sister. And so, welcome back, Abby.
Let me unwrap you from your dream. Sleepy eyes, sleepy one. Let me unwrap you from your sleep. Precious eyes open up, holding you in the arms. Child, can you count to 3? I'm watching you behind the tree. Hide and seek, come find me. I'm hiding, I'm your alibi in the garden. Wait for me, the bumblebee. I buzz about you constantly in the garden. If you wait most patiently, I'll promise not to sting, if you will, in the garden. In the garden, plant your seeds and watch them grow. In the garden, you are learning as you go. In the garden you will grow. In the garden, oh, in the garden you will grow. In the garden, in the garden, oh. Child, as you look for me, please keep your eyes as bright as can be in the garden. You might look behind you, I'm tricky and I followed you as you go. If you wish to take a rest, then lay your head upon my breast in the garden. See, now there you found me, I'm quickly to your service when you wait. When you wait, when you wait. In the garden, in the garden, plant your seeds and watch them grow. In the garden, you're learning as you go. In the garden, oh, in the garden you will grow. In the garden, oh, in the garden you will grow. In the garden. You may think I come and go, though I am always near, you know, in the garden. If you feel you've lost me, just stay right where you are, I'll come to you. If you want to stay a while, just know I look to you and smile from the garden. From the garden of your soul. In the garden, plant your seeds and watch them grow. In the garden, your speed's a little slow. In the garden you will grow. In the garden, oh, in the garden you will grow. In the garden, in the garden,
Welcome back. And Abby, that was so divine. That was just
Great.
completely amazing. Wonderful. And she's going to dance a little bit later, so we got more of Abby. Well, we are sitting here with Oughten,
Yeah.
Robert Oughten Gerard. We're going to call you Oughten tonight because that fits. You ought to be Oughten.
Yeah, I feel better with the name Oughten. I really do. I like it.
You got it after a long meditation, and that's the name of your publishing company.
Right. This back in '81. I was in West Palm Beach, in Palm Beach area, and I was with this group on spiritual development, and they gave us something called an Alpha Curia bet, which was how the ancient Egyptians were converting language, going back to that time of first language. And we were asked to resonate with a higher consciousness name. And I said, all right, I'm Italian by background, so I figured I'll come up with some.
So Vinny
Testadaria,
didn't come
Fallaci,
out.
no. And we were given a week to look at these alphabets, like the A is a masculine letter. It's straight rods pointing up. A B is masculine and feminine, and like O is purely motherhood, holistic, earth. And
everything's connected.
Everything's connected. The O, the U, the G, the H, T, the E, and the EN.
Right.
And what happened was, it took me 3 weeks, and the whole group got their name. Some people call themselves Peace, Tranquility, and here I am, Italian, going Oughten.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out what that was
And all
about.
the jokes started, you oughtn't to have done that.
Oughten, right.
Everybody knows.
But we were supposed to give a 2-minute speech, and I ended up giving a speech for about, not a speech, but a dissertation about how that name resonated with me. And it took about 45 minutes. And to make it brief,
You talked for 45 minutes about how you
on
got-
this name,
Okay.
because it was really serious for me to figure out.
It's a good thing Abby got the 2 songs in before you start telling this story.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. But Oughten, to me, the O was a feminine name. It was a feminine consciousness that I accepted, and it really meant, and this was my mission. I didn't even understand who I really was at that point in time, but the name Oughten resonated with me to mean that my mission on this planet was to take mankind, which is a maternal thing, a caring, loving way. The U meant two masculine arms coming down with a feminine arm, like a chalice, and bringing it up. G is greatness and Godhead, and the H is hierarchy. And T is attainment of hierarchy, and the E is the level of deity from lower to upper, and N is energy. So when I put these letters together, and it took a while, it meant to me, and my mission was to work to bring mankind closer to the Godhead, raise mankind up.
You left out
Bridging
the
heaven
end.
and earth.
The N is energy.
Okay,
Bridging
energy.
heaven and earth.
Bridging heaven and earth. And I put it in my pocket, I made a little clip, and that was the end of it. For like 13 years, I did not use the name Oughten, just a couple of letters to a couple of friends. And then when I started the publishing company, the first book was Crystal Stair by Eric Klein, and some of you folks might know that book.
Yeah.
It was
See, the publishing company's Oughten House, which publishes a lot of ascension books and
Right.
spiritual books and books you've written.
right. But the original name of the publishing
Right.
company was Integrity Group.
Oh,
And then the lawyer said the trademark is taken. You better
isn't
come
that
up-
amazing?
You better
Yeah.
come up with another name. And on the shelf was that little lapel that I had
From the original
13 years
conference.
ago, and it just said Oughten House. And I said, so be it. And from that point in
And
time,
you haven't been sued for trademark infringement yet.
no,
So
not
I've,
for Oughten.
I've actually been aware of you for years now.
You have?
Yeah, because I don't know when that actually started, but I read that first book by Eric Klein, and then I actually was at I was at a meeting.
Yeah.
I think I told you I was at a meeting, and somebody came in and said a bunch of
Everybody-
people ascended,
Right,
and
everybody-
we got bummed out.
Right, everybody got on the spaceship.
There's
and went
somebody
out.
in the audience that
Right.
was there too, and I called you. I didn't know who you were,
Right.
and I just said, hi, I'm in Santa Barbara.
Did I miss
major?
the ship?
Yeah, I felt really left out.
It's
So
like the A train,
at that time,
Is
it
it
was,
coming again in the next week?
It's coming back. Yeah.
I mean, and I wasn't as knowledgeable about even my own ascension or any of that. And actually, I'm going to ask you tonight to maybe do a little, you're around so many ascension books and people that, channel, and maybe you could give us a little update from your end of it.
That'd be nice.
And that would be fun. But I wanted to ask you about on the Oughten House, there's a logo, and it's like, it's really catchy.
Oh, thank you.
And that's the earth going through.
Right.
Do I-
My oldest son, Bob, he's an architect, and I had 15 years we were separated, and to bring him back into my life, I asked him if he would help me design a logo. And one day in the mail came a globe surfacing out of an old world.
Wow.
So if you look really carefully at the logo, good book here, where we have it, is that you'll see a dark planet way in the back in the old universe, and a new universe coming out with a new planet Earth, a lighter green planet Earth.
Oh,
So what it really means is that we're rebirthing. The planet is rising. The planet is ascending. There's a lot of activity taking place. Consciousness is moving in a new realm, and so is the planet Earth. And so Oughten House fulfills its name and its logo and its mission by producing books and tapes, and other authors too. Even in the audience, there's an individual here who has books and tapes on increasing your consciousness. And that's what we're about. It's helping mankind to see their inner lights and grow.
Can I ask you to do your little introduction of Oughten
Yeah.
and that little thing?
The little thing?
Before we go any farther.
Okay. Well, first of all, one of the things I do want to say tonight is what I'm really here to talk about is about spirituality, but in a loving, simple, gentle way. And take some of the, what you call the intimidations. A lot of people are afraid about
The heaviness.
the heaviness of it, and make spirituality a lot of fun. And one of the things about spirituality, any religion or all religions, this applies to it. It's what religions really ascend or aspire to. Is the greatness, it's the Godhead, it's the heaven. And that's what we're here tonight to do, is bridging heaven and earth. And
Actually, remember we were talking, Orton,
Yeah.
Robert, or Orton.
you can say Robert.
Yeah,
once in a while. Yeah.
he changed names in midstream on me, so I take a long time to remember. But
Call me
we were
Bobby.
talking about the difference between happiness, joy, and bliss. I think that's a really nice, the way you said that.
A dear friend of mine, an author who was on the show, her name is Julian Everett. In some of her work, she mentioned that happiness basically deals with how you are about things relative to yourself. And joy is more or less about how you project that onto society, what you do for somebody else. You have some joy with that. And bliss is pure service to the Godhead, if you will. It's you're in total service, and the bliss that you experience is like the summation of happiness and joy in total. And it's really the realization of your total presence, your total being, if you say the I am presence, in the moment, and feeling just grandiose about life. Connected, oneness. That's what it's all about. That's what we're all about, is being one with everybody.
And everything.
When you folks out there in the world,
Television land.
television land, what we're here tonight to talk about is relax, enjoy yourself. You are on earth. You are a human being, but at the same time, your divinity is coming in. Your Godhead is coming in.
When you say Godhead, define that for people.
It's the expression of God, your divinity, expressing what God really is to you. And whatever God means to you is what I'm talking about. So Godhead could be anything of higher nature, of higher consciousness, that makes you feel wholeheartedly good about yourself. I think keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Stupidly simple.
K-I-S-S, kiss.
Yeah.
It's simple, stupid.
A lot of people just get carried away with spirituality, and they get overloaded with information. They get overloaded with predictions, and they forget to really relate back to how they feel about who they are and what they're doing for themselves. What are they doing for their society, their community, and most importantly, are they in service? Are they really living their mission? And I would say to anybody out there, once you lock into what your mission is and you feel confident about your mission, you will feel joy, happiness, joy, and bliss, and that's a great feeling.
You know, even if I feel sad, I mean, sometimes I go through releasing, an emotional body, and I'll go through a wave of sadness or just some old patterns. I'm still happy when I'm sad, And it's like, do you know what that, you know what I mean? It's like it's not the old sadness anymore, because it's like, I feel like I've reached, somehow as a gift, and there's been hard work. There's been, we've been around this mountain a couple times and everything. But there's a point, I'm not talking about bliss, I'm talking about joy, I think. And there's a point where, you come to a point where even when you're sad, you're happy because you're aware that you're growing, and that even in the release,
the absence of self-pity, the fact that you know that you are growing, the fact that you are contented with yourself, and you are going through some physical changes. And a lot of people don't realize some of the physical changes are guided by spirit to move you higher.
Absolutely.
They're cleansing.
It's a cleansing process. And in the book, Tachi Ren's book, it describes the 12 phases.
What's the name of that book?
What is Light
What is
Body?
Light
This
Body?
is a powerful piece. This is our bestseller right now. And we're doing our third printing within 3 months. So.
No kidding.
And it describes
It's available in all the
everywhere
spiritual bookstores.
everywhere in the United States, any bookstore.
Barnes and, you know,
Barnes
those,
and Noble.
all the big ones.
All the big ones.
I love that book.
Yeah.
And it really helps. It really helps to see in print, you know, some of the bodily changes as we're
Right.
going through our ascension, you know, to know that everyone is, you know, a lot of people are going through these things and we're not alone.
That's right.
And then we can have fun with it when we know that it's not serious. We don't have to go running off to a doctor, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like we
We'll
got
put
these
them out of
headaches
business.
Really?
Really?
Fine by me. You can put me out of business in that
Well,
regard.
let me sum it up in a way. What I really want to talk about is expression. And I'm going to be doing some music with Ron in a few minutes, and it's a matter of expressing. I feel that one of the things that people do is they hold themselves back a lot, and they don't let themselves go. So to express oneself is critically important. And bringing in the light, bringing in the energy, divine energy, or spiritual energy, if you will, grace is the easiest word you can use. Bringing that into you is very important. So what I like to do is do an invocation that comes out of Tachi Ren's book, What is Light Body? And if you will, it would lead into the other things we're going to talk about
Go
tonight.
ahead, take it away,
Okay.
express yourself.
Okay. It's an invocation of light. As I live within the light, I love within the light, I laugh within the light. I am nourished and sustained by the light. I joyously serve the light, for I am the light. I am the light. I am. I am. I am. And what that does, it lets you open up that there is greater things out there. The marvelous mystery. We don't have to know everything about it, but we are part of that oneness.
Okay, but like when you refer to the light, I mean, if people aren't really familiar with that, you're meaning that within, inside a human being, there is something that they can experience as light that is an incredible experience.
Yeah. I'm not a physicist, but there's a lot of literature out there on quantum mechanics about the DNA cells and the molecular activities.
And it's actually light.
And there's actually
Right.
more light in your DNA than there is substance. And the fact that the more you open up to grace and love, the more you open up to yourself, the more you become rested and peaceful and balanced, the more light enters your body.
Right.
And the more light that enters your body, the lighter you get. And I mean in all sense. I mean physically.
Then if you get light enough, you might get like what they call enlightened, but you don't have to worry about that, but you're lighter and lighter and
Yeah.
lighter. And
Your head doesn't
and your
light
life
up.
feels better.
Yeah, you actually get to the point where you're enlightened so much you could actually physically ascend.
Right.
I'm just giving that as a direction.
I've just reached a point where I forget everything.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's not a bad sign.
That's why it's like when you change your name up, you threw me off real bad.
Yeah.
I keep telling Alan that, you know, like there's so much of your mental body that you don't even need anymore. Just let it go.
I
That's
think-
Who are
a
you?
good sign.
Well,
What's your name?
Yeah, if your mind serves your heart
Right.
and your ego serves your heart, and you let
Yeah, who's the master?
the master is your intuitive forces. I like to
Right.
use the word intuition as the words of wisdom from higher up. You just let yourself be at balance. You let yourself be restful. You're at peace, inner peace with yourself, and you'll hear your inner voice.
Right.
And at that point in time, you'll see a lot of changes go on in your life. And by doing that, you are actually letting light come into you.
Right.
To the point, again, I'm backing off because I'm not a physicist, but light does enter your DNA structure. Light enters each and every cell that you have.
Right.
Physically, this is going to be proven.
Yeah, they
real-
say if you split the atom, what comes out is light.
Yeah.
So, how about you want to go play some music?
Yeah.
We have some stuff to do here because I'm really excited about showing the duet pictures. So, actually, maybe if we can swing around and kind of start looking at the pictures. I have a poem I wanted to read about that. So, you know, whenever we're ready for that, it's really an incredible picture. I mean, Arthur Duet is just a wonderful, wonderful man. So, okay, let's start with the poem that he wrote about the painting. Seated in the temple of my earthen vessel, I become still, going beyond the senses through the hole in me to universe. Spiraling inwards I go, no language can describe what I see or what I know. Scented am I in the supreme, no sounds or sights interfere, listening to the Om of sounds, sensing the ineffable light that illumines the all. Now I know the hole in me is my window to omniverse, and even more, I realize it's my universe unlimited. Holding this vision as a ball in my hand, the earth is blessed by grace. So it's just really beautiful. So yeah, I was really excited to get it. I mean, Arthur was here, I guess, about a month or so ago, and we did a little sitting he was staying with me also. Robert was staying with me. I got a house that's a little bit bigger than Wisconsin, so the guest seems to be staying with me, which is a real grace for me. So we both sat, and that was one of the pictures, and it's just, you know, when I finally saw it, when it was finally done, it was just really an incredible thing. So what did you think of yours when you got it? It was amazing.
First of all, I want to say, Arthur might be watching this, and even if he's not, it's not that I didn't like the poem. It's not that I didn't like the poem. It's just that I wanted to his picture that, you know,
he knows
did
I was
for
only
me.
kidding.
I just felt like there's just something I want to say about it, you know. And so without reading,
yeah,
but he also wrote me a poem. His work is so lovely that he does this and then he tunes in. And he tuned into you, like just up against the universe like that. I thought that was just amazing.
Up against the wall.
Up against the wall of the universe like that. And it's just great, yeah.
So actually, we'll see Wisconsin is right after this piece. I think, are we ready yet for some music? All right,
okay.
Rock and roll. Robert and Ron.
You can talk.
I can talk.
Hooked
Okay.
on
Oh, there
up
we are. Sorry. What this song is written by Pink Floyd, and it's about, a lot of folks must have heard of this. It's called Wish You Were Here. And the words of this song relate to when music is a language. And one of the things that I enjoy about the song is the fact that if you look at it from a higher perspective, as if you were an angel or a person who is above earthly domain, so to speak, the words carry on a different meaning. If you look at it from a lower level, the words will have a different meaning. So depending on how you view this, it carries a different language of intent to you. So we're going to sing it out loud, and it's an expression that helps bring out a new feeling in what words really mean. So you want to give this a shot?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. expression. Say it. There you go.
Our next song is the Cosmic Jam. Something Robert and I just kind of put together, jamming, while being cosmic.
Thank you, guys. That was great. You know, I really wish I could just get up there and dance like that. I mean, I dance like that in my room. You know, I mean, I express myself in my room, but I don't do it out there, you know, like that.
Not yet.
Yeah, no, I don't. But dancing is wonderful, and playing and drumming. That's really wonderful. And I would like you guys, if you could get a shot of the Douay portrait, the one that Douay did of me. And it was real interesting because that day I had been in a light body class, in an advanced light body class, and that whole afternoon, what we were doing was working with the Christ Overself and literally bringing that energy into the body. And I was just completely, you know, I was just like full of light. I was really, really happy. I was ecstatic when I stumbled into Alan's living room and sat down for Arthur. And he did a meditation, and he said, I want to tune into you now. I want to just tune into your soul and into what's happening with you. And I didn't have a chance to even tell him what I'd been doing all day. And there he, you know, captured me, you know, the physical person, you know, that I see in the mirror most often. And then he captured the that greater part of myself coming in. And I just felt like, when I turned, and about an hour later when I looked and saw the picture and saw it, I was like, oh my God, what a gift. You actually really captured what's going on with me, what my life is about, what the dedication, what my passion is. That's all I want, is just to have that part, just to unite with that greater part of myself and bring that light in so that my service to mankind, to the earth, can be greater, can be Christed more and more. And it was like, there it is in print, and so I have this amazing picture, and I'm really grateful. Anyway, so it's quite a story, and it's an ongoing story, and it's all of our stories. It's your story as well.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you for expressing yourself like that.
That's very important. I'm new at the drums. It's a lot of fun. And I think one of the things I like to bring out to everybody is to express yourself. Don't be afraid. Don't house fear. Say fear be gone. Get out of my house. Scram. Kick it. Start learning how to just be truly yourself. If you have to act like a fool sometimes, fine. But you just gotta have to.
We were talking earlier, I think that what happens is people don't understand that no one else cares because they're too busy worrying about their own selves looking like fools. So don't worry about it. It's not really that big a deal. Everyone else is so concerned about themselves, they don't give a hoot what you're doing.
That's
so that gives you a lot of freedom.
That's right. Expressing yourself and talking about yourself and talking about your issues. I'm putting together a series of mini booklets called The Secret of Blissful Living. And each little mini booklet will talk about a specific topic. And the first topic is commitment to inner peace.
So tell us some of the secrets. What are your secrets?
Secrets? Oughten secrets?
Come on, let's hear them.
There's about 1,000, maybe more than 1,000.
What are you working on?
Simple.
What are you working on?
Commitment.
981 is...
Yeah, right. He's got it. Commitment to inner peace is an attitude. It's one of the greatest attitudes you can think about. What is inner peace? It's balance. It's rest. You're at rest. You hear your inner voice. Inner peace is one of the most critical things.
Quiet.
Quiet time. We need to know who we are. I work a lot of hours. Way up in a lot of hours. And sometimes I don't have quiet time. And all of a sudden, my mind gets chaotic. And my face gets drawn. I go, this is it. Break out.
Just stop, right?
Stop.
It's a gift when you remember that, because sometimes you get moving too fast and it's like, it takes like an accident or something. You don't want...
Yeah, funerals, auto accidents, tragedies.
You don't want it to get so weird that it takes something really traumatic. You want to get a little more subtle than that, if you can.
Well, why rely on sickness and pain and debt and problems when you can create the bliss?
You can get more subtle so that you're more in tune with when the disharmony is happening before it gets to be a tremendous...
Because you'll know it better. You'll identify
You're
it.
more in tune with the harmony.
Let me give you a couple other things that I like to talk about. Commitment and peace is it's a great attitude. I like to use the word speaking with an accurate tongue, or accurate communications, or total self. How many people talk who just talk from one aspect, but they don't talk from their whole being? They'll talk rational about something, or they'll occasionally talk with some feelings, but when somebody speaks with their whole mind, the whole body, the whole soul, totally, that to me is accurate. Accurate communications is knowing who you are when you say every single word. That's tough.
Okay, so how does a person get to the point where they can really do that? They have to really know themselves.
Well, that's part of the homework, and that's where people need to do their homework. It's not necessarily always trying to find out where things are. Knowledge, the knowledge that we all have, is within us. How to accurately bring that out is being in balance, knowing that you are working too hard, or you're playing too hard, or you're focused on two things and forgetting about the family, or you're into this and not into that. You can actually feel your body shifting.
But in order to know when you're in any of those, you have to know what harmony is. So how would you recommend that people know what harmony is?
Harmony, I think one of the best things you do is put on some earphones and listen to some music of your choice, and understand that when you put your earphones on, it increases the right and left hemisphere a little bit, puts it in balance, and you can actually feel it.
Do you think that certain music is more upper, more geared towards different
Do you
parts
want
of
the
the
music
human.
industry to throw a pie at me right now?
I don't think many of the bigwigs in the movie industry are actually tuned in, so I think you're
Okay.
free. You're
Well, maybe
free.
they
No
are.
fear. No fear.
No fear.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm biased. I like music that is instrumental with the lyrics that basically make me think deeper. Like the Wish You Were Here. I don't think I communicated that quite well, but the Wish You
You
Were
have
Here.
another chance, huh?
I have another chance. The lyrics on that are profound, and the more you let it sit in with you, you can see it. It's almost like an angel talking down to somebody on a planet. It talks about duality. It talks about
So for each person, do the things that make them feel more harmonious.
that's it, and they're the only ones that truly know that. So whether it's country, western, jazz, rock and roll, heavy metal, when they feel good. I have a 20-year-old son who likes Metallica, and I listen to Metallica and I go, whoa! But all of a sudden, I just relax in Metallica, and all of a sudden, hey, this is good stuff. I don't know if I can play it as long as I would some other music, but I have to appreciate it.
Actually, it was a show on, I think, last week, the show Homicide, and this guy came in, this guy, Richard Belzer's a New York kind of guy, and he comes into these people, and this guy, somebody had gotten killed, and they had like country and western music on in the background, and he said to the cop, you know, who had showed up first here, he said, was this western music on when you got here? The guy goes, yeah, he says, that's what killed him.
Then the music industry again. Everybody has their preference to music, and that's for them to honor. That's their right. It's not for us to judge. That's another one of blissful living. Stop judging others. Stop judging yourself. Get off the bandwagon.
Do you think certain
What are the
sounds have
techniques?
different higher, like more soothing by their nature or not? Are you saying
Music?
they do? Yeah.
I prefer bass. I prefer percussion. I think that
Are
the
you
higher
saying it's
the
just a preference, or is certain music?
I would love to be able to talk more about music, but I would have to bring a professional in on that one because to
No,
me,
just ask
No,
yourself.
your opinion.
You
No,
have
they
all the
no
answers
fear. This is a
inside.
no
I
fear
got all
show.
the answers up my sleeve.
You don't have to have an answer. We're asking your opinion.
My opinion, all right. My opinion that is music that is etheric is relaxing. Synthesizer type music or acoustic guitar is relaxing. Music that's jamming is confrontive. It wakes you up. That's why a lot of children today, a lot of young adults like hard music in many, many cases because it's confrontive. It makes them deal with issues, especially social issues. My mother listens to some of my rock and roll. She thinks I'm basically in left field.
Right.
And she likes Perry Como and that's all. That's what she grew up with.
Right.
And you have to honor that. You have to say, Ma, enjoy the music that you love and be at peace with that. Don't prejudge it. Everybody is unique. Another form of blissful living, blissful living, is everybody is unique on this planet. And everybody has unique contribution. And when you find your mission that you came here for, if you will, and you know your unique talent, then that's harmony. And then you'll see some more of that good life starting to shine through.
Yeah, the way I describe sometimes that you feel like the wind is in your sails.
There you go. And I like to sail, so I know that feeling. I know
It's just, and sometimes you feel like you're always, going out wind, and it's just, but
a good sailboat can go head into the wind.
right, towards tacking.
You can tack, and if you're not careful enough and you forget who you are, you get the jib, or you get the boom on your head. So that's very important. Another good thing about blissful living is dealing with your issues. And I'm going to say this straight out to my spiritual friends way out there, is a lot of spiritual people like living in good, nice, happy communes, but they're not confrontive to their issues. They don't, and I say this very directly, deal with everything that's there in the moment. Live in the moment and deal with the moment. I teach courses on confrontation skills and dealing with the moment. And I watch people go from a withdrawal denial stage within 28 hours of my course.
They're animals.
Become very assertive to their life. Because when you don't deal with an issue, you suppress it. It goes into the human garbage pail, if you will. And then you got to carry that around. And then you throw fears on top of this thing. And sooner or later, you're heavy. And that blocks light. So if you want to...
it doesn't feel nearly as good.
And you're right there. So if you're interested in becoming more spiritual, then deal with your moment. 'Cause that's the moment that you created.
It's the only moment you're alive.
That's it. So that's critically important. The other one is divine expression. It's very important to say to yourself, if I were God, and basically that's a nice statement to say, I am God, and let's see how this would feel to my society. Let me feel to my fellow brother and sister, as if I were looking through God's, God was looking through my eyes and through my heart. So simulate what God is, and try it.
Try God on.
Try being
Absolutely.
God. You know, I don't.
You might be surprised you
being
are.
pompous and running around saying I'm God. You know, they'll take you away with a little stick and put you in a jacket. It's just love yourself a little bit.
Enjoy your life.
Enjoy your life, and you don't have to have a lot of information. I think a lot of people, and I publish books. I wish everybody buy books all day long. That's fun because I recycle the money I put it into more books.
But
really,
no book is going to give it to you.
what's going to give it to you is being at peace with yourself and realizing that you are a magnificent, beautiful human being.
Experiencing that.
Yeah. And that's the greatest thing.
You know, I think people really got a lot out of it. Thanks for coming.
All right.
Was
Thank
really
you all for inviting me.
And next week, 2 weeks from tonight, we have
Andy Lakey.
Andy Lakey.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk a little about
Andy Lakey is an amazing artist. He's an angel artist, and he had a near-death experience, and angels came and asked him to do 2,000 paintings by the year 2000. And he's on 1,400, and he's going to bring some of those with him.
I mean,
and
the Pope has his pictures.
yeah, a lot of
I
people
mean,
have his paintings.
People
and
say he's the most famous spiritual.
his paintings actually have a heat. They actually have the healing energy coming out of them. I ran my hand around them, all up and down the wall. And prior to that, I had just heard that, but now it's actually true, you know, so. And we need that absolute beautiful energy, you know, it's like, you know, it's just a gift that it's able to come through matter. But then, you know, if you think about it, why wouldn't it, you know, because we are matter, you know, it's like we have a part of us that's matter, we're divine and human, and it's all in there.
And Abigail's going to be here too to sing some more, right? Is that right?
So thank you so much for coming out. The hour went by really fast. I thought we were just going to go on to the next thing. So, and it's over. So thank you all. Bless you all. Heal your hearts.